Hi there, Ramanand here once again. I'm so excited to be on this live broadcast with all of you to cheer you on your journey, on your leadership journey, on your productivity journey, on your growth journey. So, people have been asking me questions about productivity and growth and the upcoming high performance coaching program as well. So, I thought I will go live and also connect with you. And with that, I also wanted to share with you a day-to-day productivity. Like, how do you do productivity? How do you become more productive on a day-to-day basis? Because productivity itself is a very relative word by itself. Like, the meaning is abstract. It is different for different people. Just like success, it means different to you, it means different to me, and all other people out there. Everybody has got their own definition of what is successful for them. Likewise, productivity is also different for different people. But you as a leader, perhaps you need to be productive yourself, or you need to be managing teams and you are responsible for your team's productivity. Then how do you approach this? I have a framework that I want to share with you today, but before that, I want to congratulate you and I want to recognize your hard work and your determination and your grit that you have used all these things traits to get here at this level. So I congratulate you for that, and I also know that you realize that there's the next level to go, especially when it comes to productivity. Talking about growth and productivity, we all know that there is another level to go, and in that, I thought I will go live on this broadcast and share with you a framework that we can use to measure productivity in a very scientific way. So let me get started with that. Let me just explain to you what it is. This is a framework that I developed for you. This was developed as a result of my commitment, my contract with a Fortune 1000 organization. When I went to consult this company, I had to train their leadership on how they train their teams, how they make their team members accountable and make them produce at least 30 to 40% higher. So when we want to conquer our year, when you want this year to be your breakthrough year, you need to master the months. And in order to master the months, you need to master the weeks. And in order to master the weeks, we need to take full control of our day. So that's the result of how we think through the daily tasks on our list and how to get through each one of them with a lot of joy and attempt and attention it deserves, so that we complete and conquer the day, so that we can have a breakthrough year this year, right? Let's get started. Imagine that you have a bunch of things to do, or imagine that you have a big team of people that you are accountable for, like you are responsible for your team's performance. Then how do you go about thinking through productivity? Here's the first thing about anything is, hopefully you can see this text here. With any task or project on your hand right now, you need these two things. I call it these two axes. Let's explore all these four quadrants, but before that, let me explain what is this axis. This is the attempt on this axis. On your vertical axis is the attempt. On the horizontal axis is the attention. Every project, every task, your to-do list, for example, each one of those items requires different levels of attention and different levels at the attempt. If there is no attempt at all, that's when the project or task remains on the to-do list and goes to the next day. That leads to procrastination. Some people are so good at planning, they plan everything, they make a big list of to-dos, but they never get done. The reason is they never get started. They never get attempted to do. And with this model, I believe you can attempt each one of your tasks, or you can also teach your teams like how to attempt their task and how you can measure the results from their attempts, from your attempts as well. So on this attention, every task or every project needs attention in various degrees, in various quantities, and the other side of this scale are distractions, and here on this side is the focus. the more focus you give to a particular task, the more attention in terms of focus you give, you are doing better. But there are also distractions, meaning you're always surrounded with unnecessary meetings or phone calls, or you always have your smartphone with you and there's a notification you can't help but see. And TV is there. Like so many people are watching like hours of TV every day. They are so distracted, and that will directly affect anybody's productivity. Distractions affect productivity. Focus increases productivity. And there's also the other side of this matrix, which we call like the attempt. Whenever you have attention, you also need to attempt the task at hand for higher productivity. Like how do you do that? On this side of this spectrum, on this side of the scale is high intensity. At the other end of the scale is low intensity. You can approach the task either with high intensity or with low intensity. I'll explain. For example, if you're not really interested with doing a task, but you're focused, you need to do that. There's a deadline coming up, but the intensity is low. Probably you are in this quadrant here. I'm going to explain all these different quadrants, just so important. When you understand how you are approaching or where you are in this quadrant, you will always be able to map your way through to get to the better place or a better quadrant. In this case, this is a better, going to be a better quadrant here. I'm going to show you how as well. So let's start exploring by the least desirable quadrant to be in, which is number 2, where the task at hand is, you're distracted. At the same time, the intensity that you're putting into the task or the project is low. Low intensity, lot of distractions. There are so many people who are struggling, because I've been coaching high performers all around the world, and most of them, like some of them, have had in some of the projects, not all of the projects, but some projects, they are very distracted and they are also approaching the task at a very low intensity. So when that happens, the productivity is like really, really low. Maybe you can see it's about, I would say, I just given some numbers to depict how badly it affects you. It's about 10. You cannot expect out of 100, like 10 out of 100 as productivity score, because the task is approached at low intensity and also a lot of distraction. So what do you need to do in order to go from here to any other quadrant? We'll explore that, but before that we'll explore the other quadrants as well. And here the intensity is low, but the focus is high. You know that the attention that you put into this task is actually good, like you're so dedicated, you don't have any distractions, you have total focus, but the intensity is low. Now what I mean, there are certain tasks that we are not like really keen on completing. We have the focus though, but we don't have that intensity that it needs to get it across. That's the reason why you get postponed, procrastinated over and over and over again. Procrastination starts happening because the intensity is not enough. And the next place to be, even better place to be than this quadrant, is this area where the intensity is high. Of course, you have got very high intensity, you're putting a lot of energy, pressure, force into the task at hand, but you're also distracted. People are distracted here. They are called into meetings, or they have this phone or emails or Netflix, whatever it is for them. People are distracted, but they want to get things done as well. The intensity is high. So these are the 3 different quadrants which are not actually good for high performers. Most people are lingering in one of these quadrants, except for people like you who might be interested in high performance. They want to be here. Oh, okay. They want to be here. The best of both worlds, like high attention and high attempt in terms of intensity. You're putting a lot of intensity to the work. At the same time, you're also totally focused at the task, at the project at hand. So what happens here? If you can expect a productivity score of 10 here, it could be like 30 here, because the intensity is low but focus is high. Here the intensity is high but the focus is low, but still, even without a lot of focus, you may probably get half of the things done. That is, like 50% productivity is achieved, because you're constantly being distracted, That's the reason why productivity comes down, but ultimately the job gets done because the intensity is high. But here's the best place to be, where the intensity is also high and you don't have any distractions, total focus on the project, on the task, on the things to get done. These guys here, they do have a to-do list, but they call it as to get done list. There's a lot of difference between to do and to get done. So most of these people, the high performers around the world, because I've been working with Olympians and coaches and business leaders, Fortune 1000 executives, CEOs, and thought leaders around the world. My job is to help people identify where they are and then also help them get to this quadrant, which is the most desirable quadrant for high performers. Plus, I'm also going to share with you how you can get here, apart from ultimately also telling you how to hack this quadrant. When you get here, it's not enough. The reason is here's 90%. So how do you take this to 100% or 200% or maybe 1000%, 10 times? How do you do that? But before that, let's explore what do you need to do in order to go from here, these three quadrants, to this quadrant. Let's start with here. Like you have high intensity, but you're distracted. If you are in this position, or if you feel or identify yourself on any of your projects, that if you are here, what you need to do is discipline. Discipline yourself away from distractions. Turn off your phone, turn off your television, lock the door of your office if you want that to happen. I have worked with authors, for example. If they want to write a book, distractions don't allow them to write their book. So some of them may just go off on a vacation, like they take a few days off, focused entirely on writing and completing the book, and they come back a week later, maybe 15 days later with the entire thing already done. That's the kind of level of getting yourself free from distraction. The corollary of that is also true. You can also use certain distractions to help you. For example, your alarm. Although alarm is a distraction sometimes, you can also set your alarms to get you back on track. Okay, these are some practices that I teach in my high performance coaching as well, which is coming up soon. So how do you get from here to here? Is through following a very set discipline practices. Identify what are the causes for distractions and set up systems or disciplinary actions, that if you want to call it that way. Have some discipline, block your time so that you don't get discipline and you don't get distracted, or even identify who is causing or what is causing those distractions and avoid these distractions. For example, if you are being disturbed in your office, maybe you can lock your office, hang out a board. For people who want to knock on your door, you say, I'm in a meeting, I'm busy, call after, or come back like 2 hours later, something like that. Do whatever it takes. Avoid all distractions. You get increased productivity. Trust me, I promise it's going to happen. Now, here, the focus is high, the intensity is low, and one way you can get things done and increase your productivity, either to go from here to here or directly go from here to this most desirable high productive quadrant, is managing energy, like physical energy, mental energy, spiritual energy perhaps. When the energy is low, you'll not be able to intensify, put the intensity that the job or the task needs to get completed. When you work on your energies, probably you will be getting very soon from here to here or here directly. So how do you take care of energy? Identify, sit down, find out whether at what time of the day you're more energetic. For example, you may be an early morning person, or you may be a late night person, or there are certain practices that you will get, that you can get utilized to get more energized. There are certain tools and tricks, perhaps something that works for you. Some people, they go on a workout and they're back 2 hours after their workouts. They are like their weapon, like they're weaponized. They are so high in energy, and the energy also involves like the kind of food you eat and how hydrated you are. Most of the time, energy levels come down during the day. It depletes because you're not recharging yourself. You're not hydrating yourself more often. So when you manage your energies, you will become a high performer. And this is also something that I teach. We have a lot of practices and habits that I teach for achievers to become achievers. People who want achievement, like who want to become achievers, they learn these practices. They practice every day, they become high achievers. How do you manage your energies? And then, this is the most painful part to be. We have some amazing people. Like, people are amazing. They want to be great. They are already good. They want to be great. The thing is, they are always distracted in the first place, and they are also low on intensity. Very, very common thing that we see in the world. They have very high dream, because people dream. We all dream, and we all have goals. There are so many people who have got amazing goals. They have their mission, they have their vision, everything is done, everything is on the paper. They know that. But in spite of all these things, they have low intensity and a lot of distractions. These are the guys who are procrastinating very often, and they also blame other people for their failures. You know what I mean? And if you want someone, maybe you're handling people in your teams, and you find someone to be in this category, in this quadrant, the best advice that I can give you is immediately they are in need of coaching. Get some coaching, get a mentor, get some accountability partner. Someone, if you are in this position, one hack that I can give you right away is start announcing your goals. Like, make public proclamations. Have someone like an accountability partner, perhaps. Maybe talk to your spouse, maybe talk to your partner, maybe talk to your team. Tell them about your goals publicly, openly. Tell them, look, in 3 days I'm going to go get this work done. Today I'm going to make this possible. Every day I suggest make a list of things and announce it. Tell it to someone, so that when you meet this someone, your accountability partner, you are accountable. And failing on your promises will make you feel bad, make you feel guilty. Maybe that is the reason why things get done later on. So if you are here, if someone is here, coaching should get them back up here or here, maybe directly here as well. And now coming back to the most desirable high performance quadrant, which I want all of you to be in, by adding intention, you get from 90%, you can reach 100% or even 200%, or even instead of increasing 10%, maybe you're looking at increasing your productivity 10 times. How do you do that? Maybe we all have seen amazing outliers out there, amazing people out there, every top 3%. These are the people who get so many things done. Like we are all watching in awe and seeing, how did this person do all this in such a short time? Like we're all wondering, but what is going on behind the scenes is they have put in a lot of intention into their practice. Every day they come with that high level of intention. This is what gives them the ability to get out of bed every morning, because they're so connected with their motivation. They have high levels of motivation and they have big dreams. They are also connected every day through intention. They start their day. This is what I teach in my high performance coaching as well. How do you get into higher levels of intention with everything that you do, everything that you attempt? Being alive in the first place, and attempting with higher, adding, there are more layers that you can add. For example, you can also add joy to everything that you do, and that sense of abundance that to everything that you do, and also start with the service mindset, the servant leadership, for example. So when you add different layers to your intention, through intention, with very specific habits, very specific daily activities, very specific strategies and tactics, your everyday productivity goes through the roof. And if you are managing people, you teach them this method, they will love you for this. And this is a framework that I thought I would share with you today through this live broadcast. I honor you for being a high productive person, achiever. And if you are, if you want more such frameworks from me, go to one of my websites here, watch other videos, come to high performance leadership retreat that we do once or twice a year. It's a very elite program where I teach a number of such. This is a basic framework. I go deep and I teach advanced strategies and advanced frameworks for you that you can use in your day-to-day activities to increase your own productivity and growth to a very high level, plus also manage your teams and increase their as a leader. Your job is not to lead from the front. Your job is to lead from behind. That you push, you lift people up to whole new levels of productivity, and you need tools, strategies, frameworks, practices to do that high productive stuff bring high productivity into your life. At the same time, lower stress, producing at high levels, reducing the stress. This is all about, and I believe that you are already great, and my job is to help people become extraordinary. So join me on one of our online events or offline events, or our websites or YouTube videos, or any other live broadcast like this, or see me live in one of our events. And until then, keep smiling, believe in yourself, and get all the best things in life.